Jerusalem, one of the holiest places on earth, sacred to all three monotheistic religions and billions around the world. It is, indeed, the spiritual capital of the world. Archaeologists date back the first settlement of Jerusalem and surrounding provinces to around 7,000 years ago. Historians agree that the Canaanites were the first inhabitants of this land. The Canaanites originally migrated from the Arabian Peninsula, as did the Akkadians and the Assyrians, the Amorites and the Arameans. The Canaanites settled in the southern parts of the Levant and ruled over the regions covering modern-day Palestine, large parts of Lebanon, as well as parts of Syria and Jordan. Here, they established many cities and towns that are still flourishing thousands of years later. The name Jerusalem is a modification from the original Canaanite name Ur-Salem. This name appeared in the Amarna letters discovered in Upper Egypt in 1887. The word Uru means the founding place, and Salem is the name of a Canaanite deity or a Canaanite king as shown in other studies. The name Bet Salem also appeared in the Amarna letters and means the house of Salem. Jerusalem was also called Yebus or Yabus in reference to the Jebusites, a clan of Canaanites who ruled over Jerusalem when the Hebrew tribes, the Israelites, invaded Canaan under Joshua following the death of Moses. The atrocities committed during the conquest of Canaan was actually described in the Old Testament, where the Israelite tribes are commanded by their God to commit the most inhumane genocide against the Canaanites, and they indeed obeyed the orders. The land of Canaan was actually invaded multiple times during ancient history. The list includes the pharaohs, the Israelite tribes, the Babylonians and the Assyrians, the Greeks and the Romans. They all came and left. Surely some stayed behind and mixed with the indigenous population. But those who inhabited this land continuously for thousands of years, the Canaanites, did not simply vanish. Just as it is the case with the pharaohs and modern-day Egyptians, the Babylonians and Iraqis, the Romans and Italians, so too the Canaanites continue to exist and constitute the prevailing ancestry line for modern-day inhabitants, and those modern-day inhabitants of Canaan are now called the Palestinians. Modern-day Palestinians proudly acknowledge their Canaanite heritage, which continues to show in their literature, their costumes, their folkloric dance, the dabkeh, and even in their names, as thousands of Palestinians still hold the name Canaan as their first or surname. Moreover, the word Baal, which is the name of the Canaanite deity for rain and fertility, is still used by modern-day Palestinian farmers to describe agricultural crops grown relying on seasonal rain and not irrigation. In addition to culture and heritage, archaeological and scientific evidence is also confirming this obvious continuity. Many Canaanite cities have been continuously inhabited till the present day. No archaeological evidence is supporting the claim of widespread destruction of Canaanite cities between the Bronze and Iron Ages. Furthermore, recent research results conducted by world-class geneticists and published in prestigious scientific journals prove present-day inhabitants of the Levant derive most of their ancestry from the Canaanite-related population. The moral rationale also contributes to this current-day debate on Jerusalem. Conquering a land for a period dating back to thousands of years ago does not give the Israelites eternal ownership of Canaan, even if their religious heritage was shaped around that period of time. It also certainly does not give them rights to expel the current inhabitants, Muslims and Christians, who have been living there continuously for many centuries and turn them into refugees. So, back to the question, whose Jerusalem is it? It's simple. They are called the Canaanites, also mentioned in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. It is the land of Canaan. The people of this land can be Muslim, Christian, or even Jewish, like others in the regions who converted to new religions as they emerged. The City of Peace belongs to the descendants of its ancient inhabitants, as well as the many migrants who chose to stay and coexist in harmony for centuries on this land. Jerusalem should never be a city overrun by soldiers, restricted by military checkpoints, and surrounded by walls of apartheid. As it was for centuries, Jerusalem should become again a city open to all, a city for peace and tolerance.